Hey guys, how's everything going? We are back yet again, as if we never left. Isn't that right?
No, we totally left.
Yeah, it's those darn storms. Didn't really expect the storms to come in that early and stuff, ruin all my plans.
It missed me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, apparently it did. I'm still jealous about that. Man, my state's weather, you can never predict it.
Yeah, it comes and goes.
Mm-hmm. But anyways, guys, to kind of continue from what we were going to do with the Hasbin Hotel stream, we are going to be reacting to some YouTube videos, which the first ones we're going to be reacting to is Extinctzoo. And Makenna, have you heard about this channel before?
Oh, you cut off on me there. I don't know what you just said.
Oh, okay. I said, have you ever heard of Extinctzoo before?
Oh, no, I have not.
Mm-hmm. Now, for those of you that don't know, Extinctzoo is a YouTube channel where the dude focuses on talking about like all kinds of prehistoric animals and events in the throughout planet Earth. And it's not just about dinosaurs either. I'm talking about like all time and stuff. Like even going far back as like the beginning of Earth. So he talks about a lot of prehistoric animals and all that. But for tonight, we're going to be focusing on three videos where they're going to be talking about prehistoric animals that exist during the time that you humans existed. And the first one we're going to be reacting to is the ones about extinct animals the ancient Egyptians saw. So, how do you feel about this one?
I'm a little curious at what they mean by like what extinct animals during the Egyptian times. Because I just think of cats.
Cats. I think about some crocodiles. Maybe some hippos here and there. But anything else, I don't know about.
Yeah, my knowledge is very, very limited
Mm-hmm.
on Egyptian type animal stuff. And then
It's,
maybe that one thing in the Mummy movie that goes in your skin, or is that real or is that not real?
oh, you talk about the scarabs?
Yeah, I don't know if that was a stupid question. That might have been a stupid question. Are they
Oh
real or are
no, no,
they
no.
not
They're
real?
perfectly fine. Uh, Scarabs are more of like beetles that exist in Egyptian mythology, where they kind of represents like life after death and all that kind of stuff. They are kind of based off of dung beetles, but other than well, wait, are they based off of dung beetles or am I making that up? Uh, they are based off of a type of beetle and stuff, but other than that, scarabs in Egyptian mythology are completely mythological.
Oh god, good. Okay.
But
Cuz
I
those
understand.
things always freak me out.
Yeah, but I understand why you asked that because, after all, a lot of animals from Egyptian mythology are told in their hieroglyphs and stuff. So I understand why you asked that. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started with this because I am curious to see what kind of animals they're going to be talking about. And by the way, I may have to keep my voice low because my family is staying over. So yeah, the girls are trying to get to sleep and everything. So if I am quiet, I do apologize, but I can't help that. I might make it louder whenever I edit this out on YouTube whenever I get the chance of doing that. But anyways, let's go ahead and
Ye
get started. Oh, you was gonna
yeah,
say?
I'm gonna continue being loud because I don't have to keep my voice down because everybody in my household is already up because we are a computer gamer household.
Pretty much. But let's get started.
In 2015, the University of Michigan coined the term Egyptomania, a reference to the obsession that many people have with ancient Egypt. Such an obsession is actually rather understandable, as it was a one-of-a-kind civilization that managed to endure for over 3,000 years,
Mm-hmm.
making it one of the longest-lasting civilizations of all time. It's typically thought that ancient Egypt began in 3150 BC and ended in 30 BC, following the death of Cleopatra and the establishment of Roman Egypt. During its impressive existence, Egypt saw the creation of many inventions and innovations in nearly every field. But they didn't just witness man-made wonders,
There you
as
go.
the Earth was a different place back then too, with nature being more pristine and wild than it is today. In fact, While the Great Pyramids of Egypt were under construction, woolly mammoths still roamed the earth, or at least in a small part of it. Additionally, nearly every country was different than they are today, with Egypt in particular being quite unrecognizable, as it was cooler and wetter, especially during the early days of ancient Egypt. On top of this, the Egyptians built most of their civilization along the Nile River, which at the time was more lush and wide, partially attributable to the lack of human interference. As a result, the ancient Egyptians enjoyed, and sometimes disenjoyed, a wide range of nature that is no longer seen in those lands. This includes animals that are no longer found in Egypt, but yet are still kicking in other areas of the world, and those that are entirely gone, unfortunately. And one such animal that is no longer around, at least in the wild, is the Barbary lion. You may have heard of this mighty feline, but probably didn't know that it's sometimes called the Egyptian lion, as once upon a time it was relatively widespread throughout Egypt, inhabiting deserts, mountainous areas, and the steppe bordering the Nile. Barbary lions were giants who can measure over 8 feet or 2.4 meters from head to tail, with 19th century hunters describing it as the largest kind of lion around, with wild males often weighing 660 pounds or 200 kilos, which is roughly 15% heavier than extant lions.
Okay, could you imagine seeing a big lion like that?
Yeah, I would be the dumb person that would have been like, "Here, Kiki, kitty, here, Kiki." I would try to go walk up to the animal, and I'm probably describing my death story right here, but I would go up to the animal and try to pet that lion because it's a little cute kitty.
It's not a cute little kitty. It'll eat you.
It's a cute little kitty in my eyes.
No.
Yet despite its massive size,
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just laughing.
Oh, okay.
this lion wasn't technically a distinct species of feline, nor even a subspecies. Rather, a very specific population of Panthera leo leo, aka the northern lion. And it had a rather complex relationship with ancient Egyptians.
Ooh.
For one, as it didn't live directly near human settlements, commoners seldomly encountered this lion, leading to the mystical belief that they guarded the kingdom from outsiders. However, encounters did still happen once in a while, namely through attacks on farmers or cattle, though such instances didn't occur frequently enough to be considered a major threat. And so ultimately, most people never saw these lions, but yet they still understood that they were the fiercest predators in the land who could take down prey much larger than humans, like buffalo, wild boar, and occasionally even elephants. Opposite to the regular citizen, high society had a much closer relationship with the Barbary lion, incorporating it into religion, art, and writings. Royals specifically encountered them a lot, and often tried to emulate their power and prowess in their own rule over ancient Egypt. During their time of coexistence, it wasn't uncommon for a pharaoh to keep Barbary lions as a pet, or even train them to guard their throne and chariot. Sometimes they were also buried alongside these great lions, demonstrated by a fully grown male that was found in the tomb of Tutankhamun's wet nurse. Another case involved 5 lion cubs that were part of a ritual mummification, proving that sometimes it may not be in your best interest to be revered. And this is further seen in the hunting of adult Barbary lions, as multiple pharaohs hunted them in order to prove their own bravery, best exemplified by Amenhotep III, who killed 102 lions in 10 years.
Jesus Christ!
A lion cub. As soon as he said that, I was like, the lion cubs.
Dang! But I do find it fascinating that they buried them and stuff, because cats in Egypt and stuff were highly referred to being like related to the divine, so that's the reason that a lot of cats and stuff were buried and mummified as well. But I didn't know about lions doing that too.
Honestly, I'm not too surprised that they do that. Only because, like you said, they do it to their cats and stuff when they get buried. So them doing that, I'm like, okay, well, that kind of makes sense.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, but I feel bad for the 102 lions that got killed by this one pharaoh alone. Oh man, that's
Well,
Hmm?
I mean, karma came back to him. He's not here today.
Well, Yeah. Yeah.
Though funnily enough, despite his hunting bravery, he only showed up in battles once. Eventually, due to increasing aridity, desertification, and hunting, the Barbary or Egyptian lion vanished from the lands, bringing an end to this majestic feline, at least in ancient Egypt.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it,
These
just by
darn
thinking about it.
ads.
Meet Base 44.
There you go.
Another extinct animal
Base
that called these lands
44.
home and had a much
Huh?
Base 44.
Base 44.
Just remember, you don't have to think about it.
closer relationship with commoners was the auroch, scientifically known as Bos primigenius.
Ooh, I heard of this one.
This was a species of cattle that is often considered the wild ancestors of cow. Although, unlike their domesticated brethren, aurochs were differentiated in the fact that they were giants, weighing anywhere from 3/4 of a ton to over 1.5.
Look at the size of that thing. Like,
It looks tiny.
I'm pretty sure this right here is a 6-foot male. And that thing is at eye level. No, it's even above your eye level.
Nah, I see tiny.
You see tiny. I see a giant with horns that can pierce me.
I see a little baby that's 15 pounds.
I'm pretty, I'm pretty sure that says 1.5 tons.
Where do you see the 1.5 tons? All I see is 15 pounds.
Okay. He's a horse.
Half tons, making them more comparable to bison than cows. And they weren't just simply bigger, since they also had different proportions than what is seen in living bovids, with their legs being long and slender, while their necks and torsos were more stocky and muscular. Their horns too were upgraded versions of those seen in
Jesus
domesticated
Christ, look at
cattle,
the size
being
of
far
that thing.
larger in size. This all paints a
I
picture
see
of one
small.
mean cow,
Oh my
and indeed
God.
it was, thanks to a personality that matched its menacing appearance. Aurochs were well known for being less docile than modern cows, and would even regularly kill each other during mating seasons. Their aptitude for violence may also be why they were less social than other bovids, with herds typically being small and seasonal. However, ancient Egyptians didn't necessarily fear the auroch, as they actually played an integral role in society, usually through the meat they provided via hunting. This hunting
Okay.
also helped the economy, as meat and bones could be sold in markets. Furthermore, there is some evidence that aurochs were kept in small groups that could be relied upon for resources. Although, in spite of their usage, people were still aware of its tempered personality, reflected by aurochs being a symbol of power and prowess within ancient Egypt. Sadly, its power and fierce temperament did not save it in the long run, with it now being extinct throughout the entire world. That being
Aw.
said, the aurochs did manage to outlast their ancient Egyptian acquaintances, with remains being known from Roman Egypt. But alas, they stopped there, with the main belief being that loss of habitat and human hunting took it out. This spelled the end for the aurochs native to Egypt, but other subspecies did manage to survive, with one group persisting until 1627 in Poland's Yachtodów forest, where they too ultimately went extinct. Now admittedly, while a supersized cow is interesting, it's probably not as mystical as this next creature, the Bennu heron. As its name so perfectly
Never heard of
suggests,
this one before.
this is an extinct species of heron that was extremely distinct from others of its kind, thanks to its record-breaking size. Fossils and Egyptian art show that adults routinely stood taller than humans, averaging about 6.6 feet or 2 meters in height, making them equal in stature to the late Kobe Bryant. And if it was
Dang, that's a big bird.
You know what I'm about to say.
I know what you're about to say. But let's hear it.
Where do you see Big Bird? I see sweet little baby.
I don't think it's a sweet little baby considering that this picture is showing it impaling a chackal's neck.
Where do you see that? I don't see that.
Oh my God, you got selective hearing and seeing.
No, all I see, it's not impaling the neck, it's just giving little small pecks on the neck.
Okay, you little small pigs.
And
Oh,
clearly the
okay.
animal is not wiggling around in pain. It's clearly dancing with joy from the little small kisses.
Okay, we're just gonna move on.
Alive today, the Bennu heron would be considered the tallest bird capable of flight, dethroning the current champion, the Saurus crane.
Oh, that's a
Yet,
pretty
this
crane.
extinct heron wasn't only gifted in the vertical reach department, as Bennu herons had crazy wingspans too, that could measure over 2.7 meters or 8.9 feet.
Oh, I'm also gonna mention this as well. I noticed that it's called a Bennu heron, which is actually funny because in the Egyptian mythology, there is a type of phoenix that is called the Bennu, which is appearing like a crane. So I guessing that this bird was a direct reference of how that type of phoenix came into existence.
I guess.
Mm-hmm. Because or no, wait. No, I'm getting mixed up. I think the Bennu is considered a type of god that's in the shape of a giant crane. That's like a one-legged crane. I believe.
Kinda spout me some facts, and you weren't for sure on your facts. For shame, sir.
Do you know how many mythological creatures there are, not including gods or anything? There's a shit ton.
I know, cause you tried to, like, go down a whole list, and you tried talking to me about it, especially when we were at con, and it was going into a long conversation, and I'm like, "Q, I gotta go. I gotta go to this panel. This is going into, like, 4 hours."
Well, I can't help it. Like, in my list alone, I have known of 2,500 species of mythical creatures alone, and there are still some that I don't know about. Like, that is insane a lot.
Yeah, you definitely have the knowledge for it.
Exactly. I should write a book.
Yeah, you should.
I really should.
Which is 34% larger than the wingspan of an ostrich, Earth's current heaviest bird. Paleontologists believe that this heron inhabited the wetland areas of the Nile River and feasted on a mix of fish, turtles, amphibians, small mammals, snakes, and even baby sharks, thanks to its size.
Baby sharks?
Its
Oh,
stature also seems to have
God.
left a
Yeah.
profound impact on the ancient
Baby
Egyptians,
shark,
as many think that
baby
Bennu,
shark.
the ancient Egyptian deity who represents sun, creation, and rebirth, was
Oh, there it is. I should have just played the video.
inspired by this great heron, and thus it likely received much worship, especially in Heliopolis, an ancient city that was the cult center of Bennu. Furthermore, following the trend seen in many other Egyptian animals, the Bennu heron was subjected to being buried alongside mummies, specifically in this case in order to protect the deceased. Sadly, beyond its symbolic importance, not much else is known about the interactions between Bennu herons and humans, although it's possible that they were hunted, as overhunting is often thought to have played a role in their extinction, along with wetland degradation.
AT&T's been carrying America's calls since 1876.
So basically,
When you've been
human
around that
hunting
long,
and habitat
And by
loss
18
is the reason why a lot of these animals went extinct. Come on,
Also-
humans.
Also remember, AT&T has been reliable since 1976. So AT&T.
AT&T.
I do not. I am not endorsing any of this. But if they would have signed me on for a contract, I'm always down for free money.
Okay. You know I'm getting part of that too, right?
Yeah. I'll give you your cut.
Exactly. Thank you.
1800 BC, they had disappeared from the fossil record. And the Bennu heron wasn't the only Egyptian bird to get eradicated, as another one which lived alongside it was the elusive Madam goose. Not to be confused with the medium goose, which doesn't exist. This little guy was in nearly every way a normal goose, sharing the same diet and similar habitats. Where it differed though was color, as Madam geese possessed unique color
a pretty
patterns,
one.
not seen elsewhere. But what truly makes the Madam geese remarkable is that it's the only animal ever discovered through art, and as of yet, no bones belonging to it have been found.
Really?
This monumental achievement has led to the artwork in question being named Egypt's Mona Lisa. The 4,600-year-old piece depicts maiden geese being trapped by a clap net, where they are then given as an offering to a royal subject, suggesting that at the very least, ancient Egyptians likely hunted them and used geese as offerings. There are some ornithologists who believe that it may represent an artistic rendition of a red-breasted goose, but the patterns in the artwork do not match exactly, and this would be a departure from the accuracy seen in the other animals displayed in the piece, leading to the idea that it likely was a different species. Understandably, because we only have this painting, not much more is known about the maiden geese, but its method of discovery remains quite nifty. Despite the apparent trend that every extinct animal was admired to an extent by ancient Egyptians, there was one that was not as appreciated, and this was the North African elephant. This trunked mammal was a subspecies of African bush elephant, who was much smaller than other subspecies, with fully matured adults being more comparable to Asian elephants than African ones. Although similar to their family members, these guys did have proportionally large ears and concave backs, giving them a distinct appearance. In the early days of ancient Egypt, they could be found throughout the kingdom, within grasslands, savannas, forests, deserts, swamps, and highlands. Such a diverse list of habitats may sound impressive, yet North African elephants were never particularly common in ancient Egypt, having experienced years of population loss beforehand, which ultimately led to them not lasting long, and by 2900 BC, they had fully vanished from the area that makes up present-day Egypt. Their extinction may have been exacerbated by people, who, while living alongside them, despised these elephants with a passion, as they regularly consumed their crops. Moreover, while they weren't necessarily giants, they were still elephants. And so, adults were still bigger than your typical mammal, and herds would unintentionally destroy small structures and agriculture when simply moving around. This led ancient Egyptians to forcefully drive elephants out of their natural habitats, or just outright kill them. Their precious tusks didn't help their cause either, as the Egyptians prized ivory for their use in carvings, thus leading to more killings. And there is some loose speculative evidence that once in a blue moon, they were also kept in training camps, which definitely couldn't have done their numbers any good. Following their eradication from Egypt, these poor elephants would still find themselves pestered in areas they remained, like Eritrea, as they were killed by pharaohs during hunting exhibitions, with one hunt alone claiming the lives of over 120 elephants. They were also simultaneously used as pets, kept at zoos, and sent to war. Yup, you heard that right, the North African elephant was used for war, with the Ptolemaic dynasty in particular having extensively utilized them for battle. Naturally, being used in war didn't help their already hampered numbers. Nevertheless, they still persisted, until that is, the 4th century AD, when Roman imports of these elephants for usage in games and circus took a toll far too heavy, bringing them to their final demise.
God dang! I feel so bad for them!
I think that's pretty interesting. They were used for war, though. I would have never thought of that, honestly. That was actually a pretty nitbit information I just learned.
Yeah. Like, I knew elephants were used in war, but I didn't know what type they were until now. But man, I feel so bad for these elephants. They really picked the short end of the stick in this era.
Yeah, all they're doing is trying to eat. It's
Yeah.
not their fault they're eating like their crops.
And you know what? I also want to take this time to let you guys know that the poaching and stuff with the tusk, that's not cool. Which is still happening today with poachers and stuff. So if y'all want to, go help out with that by donating to like actual crap, help me out with this.
I don't know. I don't know.
But anyways, I say go to like to some wildlife donations and stuff that actually are legit to help them out. Which let's see, let me look at one real quick. Let's
Just don't
see.
poach. That's the only advice that I can give, because I can't name off of any of those sites. I know I'm a terrible person, but just don't poach. That's it.
Exactly. Okay, the World Wildlife Fund. That's the one that y'all need to go to and stuff. In fact, I think I'll actually leave a link to their website and stuff in the description below. That way y'all be able to go and help them out. You know, I think that's what I'm going to do.
Do it.
Yep, I'm going to do it. But yeah, try to help out as much as you can. And if y'all are able to stuff, I know that for at least over here in the U.S. with our economy and stuff, money is tight and stuff. But if any of y'all are able to help out and stuff to be able to save the elephants and other wildlife, I highly appreciate it. And I'm sure the World Wildlife Fund will appreciate it too.
And the animal would appreciate it as well.
Oh, definitely the elephants, rhinos, and all that as well. So if y'all are able to, go donate to them. Let's see.
Hippos, which called ancient Egypt home too, also received rough treatment from their human counterparts.
Oh,
Yet
he moved
fortunately for
fast.
them, the population that inhabited Egypt was made up of the same subspecies that is still seen throughout Africa today. Meaning,
Okay.
So cute. He is so it's in his like fat jiggly body. Oh, I just want to go over there and just I want to pet that baby so bad.
No, you don't want to. That thing will tear you in half. I think the reason it was running is to probably chase out someone. I've
It's
seen
fine. It
videos.
can tear me in half. I already know how my death is gonna go. It's okay. I'll just like have
Oh,
its face as the fucking hippo is just impaling me or like breaking me in half or like whatever death. If you guys want to be creative and create my death story in the comments with this hippo, then go ahead and do it.
oh my goodness.
I will read each one, and I hope y'all get creative with it too, cause I'll laugh.
Let me tell you something. If we ever take a trip to Africa, y'all are gonna know what we look like, because I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some tourists that's gonna film me holding back Makenna, yelling out, "No, you can't go pet them, they'll kill you!" And you're gonna be screaming like, "But they're cute little babies, I gotta go pet them."
But why why are they so lovable? Why are they so pettable? If they were so lovable, why killable?
Because nature made them that way, that's why!
Well, I'm its prey then.
Oh my god, okay, let's continue on with this.
they're extinct only locally in Egypt. And like the northern African elephant, these giants, and sometimes chaotic creatures, enjoy damaging crops, thus angering humans. Yet they also took it a few steps further, by attacking boats, mauling people, killing livestock, and just in general causing havoc.
Oh god.
Apparently, it was such a problem that even pharaohs got involved, sometimes unwillingly, as Narmer, the first pharaoh of Egypt, kindly demonstrated. As in his 62nd year of rule, he was carried off and subsequently killed by a male hippo. Evidently, hippos and humans didn't get along in ancient Egypt, leading to targeted attacks on hippos. The desolation of crops by hippos was actually so
You
bad
better run, you better
that
run.
early pharaohs wound up spending a lot of resources on the extermination of hippos, and focused on driving them out of the marshes, which they successfully did. The survivors of the onslaught took refuge away from civilization in Upper Egypt, but yet still remained targeted, with later pharaohs routinely hunting hippos in ritualistic ceremonies. Miraculously though, in spite of ancient Egyptians' best efforts, hippos managed to outlast them and every other animal featured on this list, with herds actually surviving in Egypt all the way up until the early 1800s. Clearly,
Good.
Egypt had a lot more nature back then compared to now.
It's the
And that's
only
not to
animal
mention
that has
the host of
survived
other
in this
locally
so far.
extinct animals that I didn't have time to mention, such as
Okay.
giraffes, spotted hyenas, addax, and baboons, amongst others, all of which helped make ancient Egypt
Hang on, I gotta read that. Yes, That's-
Okay.
yes, that's a dude using a baboon to catch a bad dude.
It doesn't look like it's catching the dude. It looks like the baboon is humping that leg.
Really? Get your mind out of the gutter.
I just think it does look like, because I've seen my dog hump people so many times. That looks like the stance of I'm gonna hump you.
Oh my god.
Am I wrong?
Okay. I will admit you're not wrong, but still.
Aha! I knew it.
Oh my god.
Baboons, amongst others, all of which helped make ancient Egypt one interesting place. And that about wraps up this episode. But 2 quick announcements. The first one is that I'm thinking about launching a website for Extinctzoo, which ideally will serve both as an educational website, but also as a little corner on the web that Extinctzoo can call home. So with that said, I'd love to work with a web designer or developer who also has a passion for extinct animals and paleontology. So if that sounds like you, send me an email. And the second announcement is for all of you multilingual folk out there. I've said this before, but a big goal of mine for Extinctzoo is to make educational content that's accessible to people around the world. And so, if you speak another language and are interested in helping me bring Extinctzoo to your country, send me an email at extinctzooprod@gmail.com. I'll put some more information in the description about that as well. And actually, quick update on that. We currently have both a Hindi and Polish version of Extinctzoo, and we'll also soon be launching a Spanish, Vietnamese, and Turkish version. So if you speak those languages, stay tuned. And that's about it for all the announcements. But like always, thanks for watching, and until next time on Extinctzoo.
But yeah, this video actually existed about 1 year ago and stuff. So I wonder how far he's gotten into that.
Probably a lot, honestly, because you could do a lot of videos just on extinct animals.
Exactly. Like, look at this. Like the Titanoboa wasn't the largest serpent ever, and so on. But we're not going to be focusing on that. Instead, we are going to be going to the extinct animals the ancient Romans and Greeks saw.
Since the dawn of humanity, vast amounts of civilizations have arose across the globe, each with their own distinct culture, beliefs, and military. And while each one is integral to history and fascinating with their own regards, there have been a few that have gripped people's imaginations more than others. Some of these include ancient China, Egypt, the Mayans, and so forth. But perhaps the 2 that have mystified people the most are ancient Greece and Rome, whose histories were extremely entwined thanks to their geographical closeness. Through these 2 civilizations, the world saw many great inventions, people, and art. And at the same time, they in themselves saw a lot of the world, as both have roots that trace far back, with the Roman Empire starting out in 753 BC, while some think that ancient Greece has a history that extends to 3200 BC, with the Cycladic civilization. And along with being old, both achieved significant expansion too, which resulted in their presence being seen in Europe, Asia, and Africa. Naturally, this led them to encounter many things now lost to time, including these 6 long-gone animals. What's interesting about researching and presenting information on extinct animals in foregone periods is that you'll often run into claims from people contesting certain facts, because it goes against their own personal beliefs. This is especially the case if it has to do with topics like evolution, and if it's not the complete denial of such phenomena, it's often misinformation, where something is explained in a way to make it seem plausible from a particular point of view. And this isn't just a problem for science, but information overall, which is why I've started using Ground News, who is also the sponsor of today's video in my work. The first creature up is one that many civilizations encountered, but few chose to write about, the auroch. Thankfully, the Romans and Greeks are one of the small handful who detailed their extensive history with the auroch, which is considered to be the wild ancestor of domestic cattle, as well as one of the largest animals to have lived during the Holocene, with large adults regularly weighing over 1.5 tons. To go along with their body size, aurochs had giant skulls and horns too, which were supported by powerful necks, giving them quite an intimidating appearance. Their personality, based on records, seems to have complemented this rough appearance as well, as they were described as highly aggressive animals, especially for a herbivore, that showed no mercy
still
during
appreciate
gorings
it.
and
Yeah.
would even kill their own kind during
Yeah,
competition.
I started
To most, these would be enough
notice that.
reasons to steer
Yeah.
clear of aurochs.
Well, we are in
But to the
ancient
Greeks and Romans, it only made them more
Roman
interesting
were
to hunt.
Very close to
And the hunting
Egypt,
of
too.
aurochs seems to have been widespread across both
Yeah.
civilizations,
Mhm.
with auroch horns in particular being of extreme interest, which were used as hunting and drinking horns.
Oh, we didn't learn about
Their
that.
powerful personas made them the perfect gift to notable individuals as well. And in the case of the Greeks, horns were routinely offered at temples, with Philip V
Okay. Hang on just a second. I want to go back real quick.
as well. And in the
I kind of want this.
So, me and Zelk went to a convention,
Mm-hmm.
and this booth seller, they actually sell drinking horns like that. Uh, probably fake, but they sell horns like that, and he ended up buying one. He still drinks out of it every now and then. They are pretty cool though.
Oh, man. If you guys happen to see that at the next con we go to, let me know, because I want to get one. I think that'd be so cool to carry around and drink from it.
You were there with us. It was at the one con. I can't mention names because I don't want people to narrow us down. But it was the really, really big con.
Okay, that doesn't really help, because we've been to a few big cons.
Well, this one was the biggest one we ever went to because it had like 5 buildings.
Oh, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah. I did. Yeah, I was with y'all, but I can't remember about seeing that. But then again, there was a lot of stuff that we saw at that convention.
Well, to be fair, when we went into the dealer's room, because we were together throughout all of it, but then when we went into the dealer's room, me and Zelk, and then you all split up, and me and Zelk was together roaming around, and you were off on your own for a little bit, because we were all just, we were so like amazed by everything. We didn't know what to look at first.
Exactly. It was so huge. The biggest dealer room I think I've ever been to with it. And yeah, we were on our own little quest of trying to find stuff that we want to buy.
Dude, that convention was big. I want to go back to that one. That one was pretty nice. And
I
the
want,
people there were really friendly too.
yeah, I want to go back to it as well. Which if y'all are ever willing to have someone to come with you to help out with the hotels and stuff, I'm here.
Oh, was that a hint, pick me?
Yeah. Hit, nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
Where? I don't feel the nudge nudge or see the wink wink.
Well, I can't do it right now. We're in virtual online.
It's okay. I'll take the dog.
Okay, I'll take it. All right, good. Anyways, let's continue on with this. Oh, I love how this part says cows on steroids.
What?
Yeah. YouTube has segments divided up based on what they're talking about. And in this one,
Oh, I see it. I see it now. I see what you're talking about.
yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
I did not see that.
case of the Greeks, horns were routinely offered at temples, with Philip V of Macedon having given horns to the Temple of Hercules on multiple occasions.
Oh.
Romans, on the other hand, seem to have done less offerings to gods and heroes, and instead preferred to utilize the aurochs might in venatios,
Oh.
a kind of sport in Roman arenas which involved the hunting of wild animals, where it proved to be a very economic choice given its wide range across Afro-Eurasia. Clearly, the auroch got the short end of the stick when it came to its relations with humans, yet its prowess and size did lead to it gaining occasional upper hands, as demonstrated by a cup found in Vafio, Greece, which dated to the Mycenaean age. Its engravings depicted a hunting scene where an auroch had turned onto the hunters themselves, flinging one of them to the ground while impaling the other with its giant horns. And while being the
Ooh,
best
right in the butt,
example,
too.
this cup is not the only demonstration of aurochs getting the last laugh, as they also far outsurvived the ancient Greeks and Romans, with the last known individuals only dying out 397 years ago in 1627 after a string of human overhunting and habitat loss led to an end to this tempered bovid. But the auroch wouldn't be the only menacing animal to have encountered the Greco-Roman civilization, as during the ancient ages, Europe was still home to one of the mightiest predators around, the lion.
Well, we would know about the lion if we did have this darn commercial.
Now, even
But
though
it's
lions are still present,
documentary. It's documentary. They gotta talk about that gosh darn football.
Yeah, the football! Go! I'm sorry. I know a lot of y'all are probably from other countries that are watching this and be like, how dare they? But I do apologize.
I didn't insult. It is called football in other countries. Here it's called soccer, but over there it's called football.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, why is it called soccer over here and while other countries have it as football?
Because we're backwards.
Yeah, pretty much.
on Earth, the ones seen in Europe are not. Though what they were specifically is blurry, meaning we aren't sure if they were a local population of an extant subspecies or a distinct subspecies. Though, artistic impressions indicate that at the very least, they were a bit distinct in appearance, notably having less developed manes. Even the famed Roman author, Pliny the Elder, pointed out some differences, as in the 1st century he commented on how European lions were stronger and more robust than those found in Syria or Africa. And besides looks, their range was of course different too, with the European population being heavily concentrated in the southeastern part of the continent, especially ancient Greece, leading to lions and Greeks running into each other quite a bit. And it seems that most of these encounters were not peaceful ones, as old art often depicted humans taking down lions in grand hunts that stretched far back into Greek history, with one of the oldest examples coming from a Mycenaean dagger dating to 1500 BC that showed 4 individuals killing a lion. These hunts were especially popular among nobles, and even Alexander the Great got in on some of the action, as according to a 4th century BC mosaic. It wasn't all about hunting though, as historical accounts tell of the usage of these lions within special games. Most interestingly, the ancient Olympics, where humans were occasionally pitted against lions. One prominent case comes from the Greek traveler Pausanias, who tells of how Polydamas of Skotusa, one of the Olympic winners, managed to kill a lion with his bare hands in the 5th century BC, while another lion was apparently killed by a trophy thrown at it while it was running down Mount Olympus. This may make it sound like all Greeks were overpowered terminators, yet other writings suggest that in general, European lions were clearly the top dogs, or cats rather, with Aristotle himself stating that while lions were common in North Africa, they appear to be more of a problem in Greece, approaching towns and preying on elderly people as well as those with poor dental hygiene. So, brush your teeth. And it wasn't just commoners who got the short end of the stick sometimes, as Phalekos, a tyrant of what is today Arta, was allegedly killed by a female European lion after he picked up a lion cub during a hunt. Not even armies appear to have been safe, for when his
Well, you know what? That was his own stupid ass for picking up a cub and thinking that he could get away with it.
Poor baby cub, though.
Well, at least the mama got revenge. It ended the tyrant too, so hooray for that.
Right?
Oh. You there?
Yeah. I think my headphones are doing that cutoff thing again.
Oh. We may need to get the new headsets after all.
Yeah. Yeah. I gotta replace mine anyway because the cat keeps chewing on mine. And I keep putting it up and she still tries to get it out. She's a sneaky little thing.
Sounds like you have your own little lion to deal with.
She's a majestic little kitty.
She is a pretty cat.
Yeah, she is. She's beautiful.
Xerxes of Persia invaded Greece. It's reported that European lions disrupted
300.
movement by preying on wandering soldiers and the army's camels. These antics definitely left an impression on the Greeks, and lions became revered for their might, often showing up in art and mythology, with the Nemean lion, who fought Hercules, being probably the most famous mythological lion. The Greeks obviously had
Oh, yes. That was the first labor that Hercules had to do was slaying this lion. that was said to be invincible to any weapons. So Hercules had to wrestle it and choke it out with his bare hands, and then made a pelt out of him.
That is honestly a nightmare. Like, that's some PTSD trauma right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and I feel bad for this one guy right here who's got his one hand and foot in the mouth of the lion that's trying to eat him. God.
It's gonna take them all.
Yep, pretty much.
Had a close relation with European lions. But the Romans, despite not living side by side with them, also had their fair share of run-ins, as they were prime choices for exotic animal trade to support their gladiatorial games, with Greece in fact being one of the biggest sources. This had a profound impact on lion populations, and basically all that wound up in Rome never made it out, either being used to fight voluntary armed men or to dispatch people condemned to death by beasts. As a form of execution, it was said that a lion was turned loose on naked and unarmed prisoners, who seldomly put up any meaningful fight. And observers report that frequently a single lion would take out multiple men, with one notable lion even having managed to kill over 200 people. Of course, though, if the humans were armed, the lions had a much worse time. And over the course of the Roman Empire, thousands were killed. Pompey alone is said to have killed 600 lions for a single event, and it wasn't even uncommon for emperors to do the killing themselves, with Commodus, for example, having dispatched 100 lions on a single day. Unfortunately, European lions weren't the only ones to suffer, as Romans also had Barbary lions shipped in as well, another extinct feline in the wild. Thankfully, we do know more about this fallen cat, which was a distinct population of Panthera leo, who inhabited the deserts and mountains of the Maghreb in Africa. Modern reports before its extinction say that the Barbary lion was about 37% heavier than modern ones and had large lush manes that stretched from their heads and necks to their bellies. Their striking appearance and size made them one of the more favored spectacles in Rome, where along with games, they were often used in lion baiting, a cruel sport where lions were pitched against dogs. Yet this game may have been more punishing for the dogs, who were almost always outclassed. Lions were also pitched against other...
That's terrible! Did they really have to draw the balls on the dogs?
You know what? We're gonna skip through this real quick.
exotic animals, and were routinely starved in order to make them more aggressive.
Come on, hurry.
And their extensive...
Okay, there we go. Now we can talk.
I looked over and I was like, why does the picture have like really good detailed balls on the dog? Like, do we need that info?
We don't need it, but the ancient people had to draw them.
I guess they had to get super specific in every body part.
I guess. Well, I mean, we did learn a little bit about Greece and stuff back in our school, where they were masters of their craft back in the day.
Yeah, draw everything.
They have to draw everything. But yeah, I feel bad for these lions and stuff over in Greece and stuff. Like, having 600 kill in a single day? Man, that's a lot of lions.
Yeah, that's why they're extinct now.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, damn.
Abuse has often led to researchers wondering if the Romans had a hand in either the Barbary or the European lion's demise. Most think that they didn't impact the Barbary lion too much though, as they survived well past the Roman Empire, only succumbing in the 20th century after the widespread introduction of firearms. On the other hand, it is widely agreed that the extinction of the European lions may have been their doing, with their quote-unquote games taking out large portions of the population. However, we don't know exactly when they died out in Europe, and the last word on them came during the 2nd century AD, when lions were reported to still live east of the Nestos River in Thrace. The urge of the Romans to acquire exotic animals not only made them frequently encounter lions, but also the other now extinct feline, the Caspian tiger. While alive, this large cat was primarily native to Iran, Mesopotamia, Turkey, the Caucasus, and was partially found in other regions of Asia too, including Afghanistan and China. Studies on its remains suggest that its closest living relative is the Siberian tiger, and the two were remarkably similar, including in size, with Caspian tigers weighing around 240 kilos or 530 pounds. Some individuals even reached exceptional sizes, as one killed in Azerbaijan was reported to measure 11.8 feet or 3.6 meters from head to tail, longer
That's a
than the
big
longest
cat.
recorded Siberian tiger. This giant specimen was further described as being equal in size to the local horses.
Popeye's $6 Big Box is back. 2 pieces of signature chicken or 3 tenders, 2 sides, and a biscuit.
I'm gonna have to buy YouTube Premium, am I?
You know, when I had it, it was pretty good.
Love that chicken for Popeyes.
Popeyes is good.
Yeah.
It's said that despite being alike in stature, Caspian tigers differed from their Siberian counterparts by possessing brighter and more uniform coats that grew longer as well.
Ooh, that's
With such
pretty.
size and presumably striking coats, the Caspian tiger no doubt left a lasting impression on Greco-Romans. Yet their first run-in with the tigers wasn't with the Caspian, but rather the still-breathing Bengal tiger, who was first spotted by the Greek physician Ctesias while in India during the 5th century BC. However, he described it as being a manticore, a mythical animal, which he depicted as a feared man-eater that could kill great numbers of men, and was both supernaturally fast and agile. Later Greek historians would go on to generally agree that this manticore was really an exaggerated account of a tiger. And the next confirmed case of another Greek seeing a tiger wouldn't come until 326 BC, when Alexander the Great was presented with tigers in India during his conquests. It's thought that he viewed these creatures with great respect and awe. Yet since he was in India, the large cats were presumably still Bengal tigers, and Bengals would continue to be the main tiger in Greco-Roman history, as they were the first tigers to be displayed in Athens and then Rome in 11 BC, where they were said to have been savage. It isn't until around 43 BC that we get what could have been the first mention of Caspian tigers, after the Roman author Varro seems to have indirectly mentioned Caspian tigers in Armenia, that were feared for their savagery, speed, and up until the point of his writing, had never been captured alive. After this brief mention, not much else is said on the mysterious extinct tiger until 100 years later, in 43 AD, when geographer Pomponius Mela wrote that these extinct tigers were frightfully fast, being so swift that even men on horses were not safe. He also wrote how capturing tiger cubs at that time had become popular, but it was seldom successful given the Caspian tiger's ferocious maternal instincts. That was only quelled if the cub was returned or if the rider managed to enter a heavily populated town. This sentiment was further pushed by Pliny the Elder roughly 35 years later, who said that the Caspian tiger was an animal of frightening speed,
jeez.
equal to a swift arrow, and could overtake even the fastest of horses. He also mentioned that in attempts to outpace tigers, cub trappers would often switch horses to ensure maximum stamina, and yet still, the tiger would catch up. To get an edge, Pliny said that people decided to take multiple cubs at a time, who were then slowly released one by one to slow down the mother tiger, allowing for at least one cub to be taken.
Jesus!
That is terrifying.
That is! Like, we know how, I know how fast horses can get. So the fact that this tiger could still catch me and bring me down on a horse that is running, at top speed, my God, that would be terrifying.
Tiger doesn't have to run for me. Tiger can probably just do a fast walk and would have got me since I'm a slow walker. I won't run. I know it's my time. If I see that and they're running towards me, I'm like, okay, well, I'm not running. There's no way I'm going to survive this.
You just give up.
I will right then and there. I'll just be like, Jesus, take the wheel.
But still, though, it's like they would have never had these issues if they would have just left them alone. Like, why? Why would you take them when you know that 9 times out of 10 you're probably gonna die?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I hate to say this, but you humans are dumb. Yeah.
Based on other sources, it seems that it was this speed and extreme maternal instinct that made Caspian tigers somewhat of a legend in Greco-Rome, with some even using it as an inspiration for being a good parent. While less reported, It's thought that in addition to being good mothers, Caspian tigers were ambush hunters, who primarily preyed upon deer and pigs, though were not hesitant to go after other animals as well, including other predators, such as jackals and jungle cats. And during winters, it's thought to have turned on livestock and domesticated dogs for calories. Even elephants, namely in Syria, were prone to attacks. But according to this Roman-Syrian mosaic, it didn't always go as planned for the Caspian tiger. Run-ins may also have occurred with the Asiatic lions as well, though the relationship between the two is poorly understood. Overall, the Caspian tiger's traits made it a hit amongst people and fan favorites in Rome. Yet they were much more limited than lions, not because of population necessarily, as they were said to be extremely plentiful in the forests of Hyrcania. Rather, they were just very hard to catch, leading to them being a rare sight. Still though, certain Roman emperors were successful at gathering large amounts, with Commodus having killed one himself, and Elagabalus killing 51 within a day, a record amount according to authors of the time. It's within these games that people further describe the Caspian tiger as being at its largest twice the size of a lion, and so strong that even when tamed, a group of 4 men could not prevent one from attacking and mauling a fully grown mule. Circumstantial evidence seems to also suggest that in forced fights against other animals, the Caspian tiger was quite favored, namely against lions, though no detailed accounts on such fights are known of. Suffice to say though, these tigers' impressiveness left a mark on Greco-Roman society, and they often inspired bravery and courage. Like the Barbary lion, the Caspian tiger seemed to escape extinction during the Greco-Roman period, but it did not make it to the present, with its extinction likely having nothing to do with its usage in the Roman Empire, but rather Russia's colonization of Turkestan. During colonization, the tiger was hunted en masse for its skin or to prevent livestock loss, and with the invention of firearms, its speed was no longer an obstacle. Additionally, much of its habitat was eventually converted to cropland or cleared for settlements, adding more fuel to its demise. And by the mid-1950s, it was critically endangered. Then slowly from then to now, populations disappeared from their last strongholds, with the last sighting coming from Afghanistan's Laghman province in 1997, when it was reported that 2 Caspian tigers were captured. However, their fates are mysteriously unknown, and it's thought that the war in Afghanistan may have cleared out what little remained of the Caspian tiger.
So they just recently became extinct.
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago.
Yeah. I mean, that's
And
bad. But you know what we were talking about earlier with Colossus bioscience and stuff? They may be able to, well, kind of bring them back and stuff, in a sense. Or who knows? Maybe there's still like a population of them out in the wild that people haven't discovered yet. Because I know that happens every once in a while where an animal that thought to be extinct turned out to still be out there. So who knows? I kind of hope that there's still a few out there.
While gone, its ferocity has given it a respectable legacy. But not every animal has to be fierce to be interesting. And this includes one fascinating, albeit harmless creature that may have been encountered by the oldest Greek civilizations, and that is the dwarf elephant of Tylos. Tylos is one of Greece's many islands, and it was here that fossils belonging to a fairly tiny elephant were located. Studies on the bones suggested that they had belonged to the Paleoloxodon, a now extinct genus of elephant which was composed of over 10 different species, all ranging in size and distribution. Ironically, some species of Paleoloxodon are absolutely giant, with the biggest even being considered the largest known terrestrial mammals. However, certain
Yeah, hang on, let's go back. Yeah, there's been a new study that think that they're even bigger than the, what were these things called? They were on Walking with, Walking with Dinosaurs Ice Age Edition.
No, do not ask me. My English is not the greatest. I definitely cannot pronounce that.
It's like, oh, there it is. Indricoderium. Yeah, it's this guy. Yeah, these things were massive. Like, they were about, like, 30 feet or something. But, yeah, apparently this new type of elephant and stuff that's been discovered is think to be even bigger than it, which is crazy. Like, that's a T-Rex right there. That's a T-Rex sized elephant. It is.
Nah, it don't look that big.
Okay.
Considered the largest known terrestrial mammals. However, certain populations of these giants
this
would
artwork.
occasionally
This in here
migrate
looks
over
so
various
good.
land bridges during times of lower water levels, and then find themselves marooned on islands once the water rose again. And on these islands, with limited resources, the elephants eventually shrunk, experiencing insular dwarfism, and soon enough, various dwarf species emerged. These new species made up the smallest elephants ever, with the smallest kind, Paleoloxodon falconeri, sometimes being less than 1 meter or 3.3 feet
Look at
tall.
him, he's so
However,
tiny.
it died out before the Holocene, meaning the
Oh.
Greeks never saw it. Though one type, Paleoloxodon tiliensis, could have been seen, as some individuals were dated to just 1840 BC, making it not only the last known dwarf elephant, but also the last elephant in Europe, period. And this date also puts it within the time frame of the Minoans, and possibly the Mycenaeans, assuming it survived a
Okay.
bit longer than its last fossil. Its range also fits, as Telos, where it lived, was visited and at least temporarily inhabited by both groups. And while there is no direct evidence of interactions, it's definitely plausible that if they did meet, that the elephant was likely hunted,
No.
since large adults
Aw.
were still smaller than small aurochs. There is even speculation that their disappearance was due to human exploitation, with the fact that their population was likely already small given the size of the island. That being said, they might have endured longer than we typically think, as weirdly
Oh.
enough, a mosaic out of Egypt of all places has been cited by some as being evidence for their survival and association with humans. Specifically, an art piece from some time in the 1400 BCs shows a group of Syrians presenting tribute to Egyptians. One of the gifts appears to be a miniature elephant dubbed by certain researchers to represent a dwarf elephant, and thus implying that they were definitely around during the time of the earlier Greeks.
Okay, we're
Keep
gonna
in
skip
mind,
that.
though, that this claim is very controversial, and many other animals have been proposed to represent this enigmatic animal, including a pygmy mammoth. It's fun to imagine the
Wait, there was a pygmy mammoth?
Looks like it.
Dang. I just can't imagine a mammoth being smaller than a human, though. Like, that's crazy to me.
I think that's cute though. I kind
Yeah.
of want that.
Unfortunately, we can't because, well, they're extinct.
We'll see. We'll see on the next session. I might have one in my arms.
Oh my goodness, okay.
ancient Greeks running into dwarf elephants, and speculating on their reactions. But what we don't have to imagine is their, or the Romans' experiences with another extinct proboscidean, the North African elephant.
Oh, we've
This
seen this
was
guy
a distinct
earlier.
subspecies of African bush elephant that inhabited certain parts of North Africa, and is believed to have evolved approximately 11,700 years ago, during the start of the Holocene. Due to its ancestry, the North African elephant was no doubt big, although not as large as its living relatives, with estimates giving it a shoulder height of 2.5 meters or 8 feet, making it roughly
Okay.
39% smaller than African bush elephants. Nevertheless, its height still made it much bigger than anything the Greeks or Romans saw before. However, like the tiger, their first run-in, at least for the Greeks, came from an elephant still alive, the Indian elephant, which was first seen by Alexander the Great and his army in the early 300 BCs during his time in India. There, he both faced them in battle and was presented with them as gifts. It's thought that he regarded these elephants with respect and awe given their mighty sizes, and very quickly adopted them into the military.
Oh, that's
The
cool.
lines are blurry, but between then and 300 BC, the Greeks encountered North African elephants, with the likeliest possibility being that they were met once the Ptolemaic Empire, in ancient Greek polity, was established in Egypt in 305 BC. There, North African elephants became integrated once more into armies through large raiding parties that would conduct wide-scale searches for elephants to be captured, with many coming from the Kushite kingdom. During this time, elephants were considered in many ways as living tanks, and were revered for their size and imposing appearance. However, they were still described as being gentle, easy to tame, and highly intelligent, actually being likened to the intelligence of a human, or at least being the smartest non-human animal. Sadly, their seemingly friendly traits did not protect them from being exploited, and in 280 BC, North African elephants found themselves in mainland Greece, when 20 had been given to Pyrrhus of Epirus for his war against the Romans. This was an important moment in history, as it marked the first time elephants returned to Europe after originally having gone extinct there, and it also marked the first time Romans saw North African elephants, or any elephant for that matter. Historical accounts paint a disastrous meeting between the two, as the Greeks with their giant elephants defeated the Romans during the Battle of Heraclea, who were terrified by the quote, ugliness and sheer size of the elephants.
They're not ugly.
Yeah.
I think they're pretty okay looking for animals. I mean, compared to like, let's see, like this guy right here, he looks pretty ugly. Or this guy right here, he looks kind of ugly. Or even this guy in the back where we don't see his face so much, I'm pretty sure he's ugly.
But you know what is pretty? Those horses. Those elephants.
Yes, exactly. Especially this horse which got like a derpy look to his face.
Oh my.
It's kind of got like a derpy face. He's like, meh. I'm sorry, I had to point that out. I just can't help it, the derpiness on this face. Okay, let's move on.
Horses too were frightened and fled before even engaging the elephants. It's
Yeah,
also
I'd
worth
say so.
mentioning that the Romans described them as having a strange smell and were disturbed by their trumpeting sounds. With this defeat, whispers of elephants soon reached Rome, where they quickly mystified and became regarded as undefeatable giants. The army, however, was in some ways optimistic, as they held onto the belief that no animal, no matter its size, was superior to man in intelligence. Additionally, North African elephants had one crucial weakness, and that was their easily startled nature. And this was witnessed just 5 years later in another battle, where a single elephant that had been injured by a javelin panicked and caused the entire collapse of the Greeks' elephant unit, causing mayhem and their eventual defeat. In this loss, some were even captured and brought to Rome for a victory parade, where it is said that civilians watched the elephants with greater pleasure than anything before, as it made them seem more like animals instead of indestructible monsters. It wouldn't be long, though, until the Romans would again face this subspecies, as Carthage famously used war elephants against Rome, most of which were North African elephants. In fact, it's believed that all but one of the 37 elephants that crossed the Alps in 218 BC with Hannibal were of North African origin. Like the elephants before them, they had mixed success against Rome, but were eventually defeated thanks to their startled nature once more. After this point, the Roman Empire would slowly but surely use elephants themselves, and start to describe their behaviors more, stating they were fierce protectors of their own and had voracious appetites that were quelled by the use of their trunks to gather large amounts of leaves.
Yep.
They also made some presumably exaggerated claims, including that they could live for 300 years and only mated once in their lifetime. Eventually, North African elephants were being widely used in the Roman military, but were also killed en masse for their ivory. Additionally, these long-gone elephants became extremely popular in the Roman games, as most exotic animals did, and they were regularly pitted against other animals, including each other. They fought humans too, and sometimes did so in 1v1s, which were reportedly the peak of a bestiari's career. Many stories about their usage in the games are known of, but one that sticks out was a battle between a North African elephant and an enraged rhino, in which the elephant achieved victory by apparently picking up a spear with its trunk and blinding the rhino. Unfortunately, while the elephant many times...
Okay. I know that's awful, but that's actually kind of hardcore for an elephant to use a spear.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Like, what's more well, I stutter right there. What is more terrifying than a giant elephant? A giant elephant with a weapon.
I would still try petting it.
Of course. Like I said, if we ever go to an Africa safari, I'll be having to hold you back. Both me and Silk.
I don't know what you're talking about.
times held the advantage, thousands still died. And one emperor himself, Augustus, saw the deaths of over 3,500 elephants during his reign. This extensive use, coupled with hunting, plus their role in war, proved too much for the North African elephant, and it disappeared, going extinct sometime in the 4th century AD. Greco-Roman civilization also saw their fair share of another extinct animal somewhat associated with elephants, and that was Struthio syriacus, more commonly known as the Arabian or Syrian ostrich. This extinct flightless bird belonged to the common ostrich species, and was found throughout the Arabian Peninsula for the entirety of ancient history. Researchers think that it was extremely similar to the common ostriches alive today, and was only distinguishable by its size, as it tended to be a bit smaller. However, it was still giant by bird standards, with adults being about 7 feet or 2.1 meters tall. What we don't know, though, is when this flightless bird first met Greco-Romans, an issue that isn't helped by its similarity to other ostriches, as it led to historians rarely distinguishing between the subspecies. Therefore, the best bet is that once again, the first ostrich introduced to these ancient civilizations were of the still living kind, and were most likely encountered through Ptolemaic Egypt. Nonetheless, as Greco-Roman influence spread throughout the Middle East, the Arabian ostrich assuredly became a large part of culture, being featured in the Venatio games and being used for gifts, especially its eggs, given their large size. Like others, many Arabian ostriches fell to humans.
I'm sorry, but this face right here is just funny to me for whatever reason.
Is it just because it has the tongue sticking out and it's like, "Wah!"
Yeah, pretty much. It's going, "Ah!"
Yeah, that's not a pretty face for it.
No. By the way, I'm over 300 years old, but how old am I mentally?
2.
That's kind of rude.
What said that? Whoever said that, y'all should be ashamed of yourself. You should not have said that. For shame.
For shame.
For shame. But whoever said that sounds like a very awesome person. But for shame.
Okay, let's continue on with this. We just got like a few minutes anyway.
Although uniquely and unfortunately for the Arabian ostrich, it seems that it became somewhat of a goal for people to try and headshot it, given its small and narrow head. And for more bad luck, it seems that out of all the ostriches, the Arabian kind was the preferred one to cook or process, as its meat was softer and its plumes more easily to manipulate. That being said, not all of its interactions with humans were bad, as it did become somewhat of a hit amongst naturalists, who were interested in its almost alienish look and features. Some describe it as having had an extremely powerful neck and was large enough to be ridden, while still being very fast despite its size. Other interesting reports reflect on its voracious appetite, as individuals would supposedly swallow anything they found, and would occasionally even die after eating rather questionable items, mainly man-made ones. Thankfully for the Arabian ostrich, it did not have to worry much about encountering men or their creations, as their range was limited to areas that were deemed by Greco-Romans as unruly, making the ostriches in Africa much easier to import. And this played a large part in the Arabian subspecies survival, as they did relatively fine up until the mid-20th century, when both firearms and motor vehicles were introduced into its habitat. These two inventions essentially took away the Arabian ostrich's only advantage against humans, which was speed, allowing hunters to take out large groups in one go. At the same time, the Arabian Peninsula had been experiencing increased aridity for a while, leading to severe habitat loss. This all culminated with the Arabian ostrich going extinct sometime during the mid to late 1900s, with one of the last sightings consisting of 2 lone individuals who were killed by some hungry pipeline workers in Saudi Arabia. And that about wraps it up, but given the sheer extent of Greco-Roman expansion, there are more extinct animals that could be included on this list, but their stories are for another time. Thanks for watching, and until next time, on Extinctzoo.
Okay, that's kind of sad, that the fact that the 2 last ostrich went extinct just because of some hungry workers.
It's messed up, but survival of the fittest.
Pretty much survival of the fittest. Now then, where is the native one? Because that's the next one we're going to be looking at.
I'm not gonna lie, my eyes are drooping quite a bit.
Alrighty, well, do you want to call it here then?
I might have to because I think sleep is trying to take me now.
Okay. Well, before that though, do you at least want to check out the Poppy Playtime Chapter 5 teaser trailer?
Yeah, we can sit there and do that.
Okay. Uh, that way I don't have to change the thumbnail again.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Besides, we can save the other Extinctzoos for later on. But that's pretty much it for the Extinctzoo. What did you think about that channel so far?
It is very educational. Like, I've learned quite a bit of stuff that I was like, huh, okay. On a serious note, I didn't really know that. So that was quite interesting. The animals were a lot bigger than what I thought. I thought they were going to be about our height. I didn't expect that height.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, y'all go check out Extinctzoo and stuff. He is a really cool person that talks about prehistoric animals. And y'all will be able to learn a lot. I know we did for sure.
I know
And
I did.
and support him and all that as well. And I'm also going to leave a link to his channel in the descriptions below whenever I load this up on YouTube as well. But with that, we're going to go ahead and finish this stream up by watching the Poppy Playtime Chapter 5 teaser trailer. And I am so excited for this because I have played the 4 chapters and I cannot wait to see what this 5th one is about. By the way, have you played Poppy's Playtime?
I have not. But I do know a little bit about it because I have seen pictures and not trailers, but I've seen people like play it a little bit. I don't know like the story or the jump scares or like the horror. I don't know all that aspects, but I have seen images for it.
Okay, well, I do recommend looking into it because it's a really fantastic game. I know I streamed the 4 chapters and stuff, which I'll probably leave a link to the playlist below and stuff. And by the way, Makenna, if you ever want to check out Poppy Playtime and stuff, I do recommend looking at it online, mainly on my channel. Watch my reactions. But
Who said that?
I don't know. But yeah, I do recommend looking into it because I think it will be a really fun game for you to try out. And if you're a big fan of horror game, which I think you are, I think you're gonna love it.
I probably will.
But let's check out this chapter 5. And here we go now. Okay. Safety first. Yeah. Ooh. Oh, Poppy.
Oh Lord.
Yep. Wait, that's it? That's it?
That was very creepy.
It is, but it fits it so much. But is that it? Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to do
Yeah,
that.
I think that's it, Q. I don't think
Oh,
there's any more to it. I think it was just seriously like a short little teaser.
okay. Well, still, that is still amazing, and that's pretty much it for this reaction and stuff. So, does this trailer kind of get you interested in trying out the games?
Put it on my list to look into it. I haven't gotten around to it, sadly, but it is on my list because I've had other people talk to me about it and I've had discussions about it before. And it does look very interesting. Like, I had thought about it.
Oh, I'm telling you, I think it's a game that you'll love because it is so good. The first 3 chapters are absolutely amazing, and the 4th one is really, really good too. Not as amazing, but still really good. Let's see. And I think chapter 5 will be coming out pretty soon, like maybe within the next few months or so.
Probably if they got the trailer up and running, it won't be too long for it.
I kind of noticed that they always seem to release games within like a year's span from when the chapters get released, around January to March or something. So yeah, it won't be too much longer. But yeah.
Yeah, it'll be here before you know it, honestly.
Well, I think that's pretty much it for this stream and stuff. So, anything else you want to say before we close it out?
Not much of anything except I learned some stuff today. We had storms. We got to react to Has Been Hotel, which if y'all haven't seen that, go check out that link that's like on this channel. We got to react to episodes 3 and 4. Yeah, 3 and 4.
That was a lot of fun. Let's see. Oh, go on ahead.
Oh no, it's just my mic moving.
Oh, okay. I am also going to make this announcement that I'm actually going to take, well, actually, no. Tomorrow night, I'm going to do a Creature of the Week stream where I'm going to be talking about a certain Native American creature. But then after tomorrow night, I'm probably going to take a couple of days off. And the main reason is to try to edit out a lot of these videos. That way they'll be on YouTube and stuff. Because unfortunately, I am way behind on that. And I have got to get that situated.
Yes, you do, because you were super behind.
I can't help it. I mean, between trying to edit out and doing my own content and everything, it's so hard. I need to find an editor and hire them.
You really do. I would help you, but I have no clue when it comes to any of that, and I will make things so much worse, and I will accidentally delete stuff, and then you'd be like, "Makenna, why did you do all that?" And I'll be like, "I don't know. Why did you put me in charge?"
I don't know. But yeah. So yeah, I'm probably gonna do like what do you think? 4 days? Or maybe even 5?
I would probably do 5 just to give it that extra.
Yeah. No, wait! Crap, no. I forgot. Tuesday night I gotta do a special stream and stuff, so okay, scratch that. After Tuesday, I'll take a 5-day break. Yeah, I forgot about that. Boy, it's a good thing I caught myself on that. Whew. Which,
Oh my god.
yeah, and it's a stream that I told you about, remember?
Oh, that you're gonna collab with some VTubers?
Yes, but I was gonna save it as a surprise.
Oh, y'all heard nothing. I did not say that. I said nothing.
Yeah, it's okay though. But yeah, like she said, I have a collab thing going on. But I will say this, if anything does happen though, to where we have to delay it and stuff, I'll let y'all know on Twitter and stuff. But for now, I cannot wait for Tuesday because it's gonna be the first collab ever, and I'm super excited for it.
It'll go good. It'll go good. You'll have lots of fun. I know you will have lots of fun. I will like spray the fun dust on you guys to make sure y'all have fun.
Yeah. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and close this out. So with all that out of the way, thank you guys for coming on this fantastic stream. I hope y'all had as much fun as I did, as we got to learn about some extinct animals from Extinctzoo, and even check out Poppy Playtime's teaser trailer for Chapter 5. And if you wish to see more of this, check me out on my Twitch page, check me out on Twitter, check me out on my main YouTube channel and my Game and React channel, and leave a like and subscribe for that as well. And anything else you want to say before we get on out of here?
And just in case if y'all missed it, check out his Twitch, his YouTube, Twitter, all of it. Check and subscribe.
Exactly. And with that, we bid the show adieu. So see you guys.
I do.
Yep. So long. Bye. Okay, bye. Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Oh, breaker of DNA
Oh.
or NDA. I said DNA instead of NDA.
Yeah, it's NDAs with a S. Don't mispronounce it.
Okay, thank you for joining us, and I'm gonna go ahead out of here. I am done. Bye.
I hope you enjoyed the stream.
Yeah, bye.